Men, do you feel like you're effectively communicating the Marked Men Weekend to every man in your church? My name is Randy Stensgaard. I'm on the Global Board of Directors. I'm the Minnesota State Director, and I'm also a co-leader for Marked Men for Christ. Let me tell you a funny story about what happened to me. There's a man in my church. He went to Kenya, Africa on a missions trip. The first man that he meets in Kenya was this man by the name of Pastor Timothy. And Pastor Timothy was sharing with him all about Marked Men for Christ and about how Jesus Christ healed his wounds and that he was the happiest man in the slums. This man from my church was so impressed by this that he continued on to another location in Kenya. Met another man, and all of a sudden that man started to share about Marked Men for Christ. And this man is like, wow, I can't believe that, I've met two men that have talked about Marked Men for Christ and how God has healed their wounds and the transformation in their lives. Then he goes on safari at the Masai Mara in Kenya. And all of a sudden he's there, and the safari driver is a Maasai. And this Maasai guy is wearing a Marked Men for Christ t-shirt. It says, Building Stronger Men for Jesus Christ. And all of a sudden this man is just intrigued by this. This is the third time that I met a man in Kenya, Africa about Marked Men for Christ. And so he goes, I got to find out more about this. And so as soon as he got back to Minnesota, he gets on the website, markedmenforchrist.org, and all of a sudden he's looking. He goes, I wonder if there's a Marked Men for Christ weekend in Minnesota. Wow, sure enough, there's a Marked Men weekend. So he signs up. And so he goes there, and that weekend, all of a sudden he looks at me, I'm one of the co-leaders, and he goes, wait a minute, you're one of my pastors at my church. I had no idea that Marked Men was in Minnesota and that it was a part of our church. So men, are you effectively communicating, Marked Men weekends to your men? I thought I was. Obviously, I was not.